External Affairs Minister Jaishankar has called the 1972 Shimla Agreement as the reason behind Pakistan's continued interference in Jammu and Kashmir. Now, delivering the Ramnath Goenka Memorial Lecture in National Capital, Foreign Minister said that India has allowed the narrative to focus mainly on a dialogue when the real issue was stopping cross-border terror.
Also little awareness in the 1950s that we were dealing with a battle-hardened neighbor to the north, or indeed of the strategic significance of Pakistan-occupied Kashmir. This approach to the world affairs continued even thereafter. Thus, in 1972 at Shimla, India chose to bet on an optimistic outlook on Pakistan. At the end of the day, it resulted in both a revanchist Pakistan and a continuing problem in Jammu and Kashmir. That it has taken us so long to link talks with Pakistan to cessation of terrorism speaks for itself.
So Pakistan is building terror industry emanating from its own soil. There's a strong statement coming in from India's foreign minister, also stating that it was 1972 Shimla Agreement, the main reason behind Pakistan's continued interference as far as in Jammu Kashmir issue is concerned, which India has always maintained is its internal matter. No interference whatsoever will be allowed in Jammu and Kashmir. J&K was integral part of India, and it will continue to be so. As Jaishankar was delivering a keynote address recently, wherein we have Abhishek Kapoor, our executive editor, on phone line to tell us more about the larger message that India and especially the foreign minister, of course, wants to send across, stating that, he said that, Abhishek, the 1972 Shimla Agreement was the main reason behind Pakistan's continued interference in our internal matter, particularly Jammu and Kashmir.
Well, Fikal, what the External Affairs Minister was suggesting was that the thorough beating that Pakistan got in 1971 and the subsequent Shimla Agreement essentially led to revanchism within the Pakistani military and what we call as deep state, and that essentially led to Pakistan adopting terrorism as a state policy because post-71 Pakistan clearly realized, or the Pindi generals clearly realized, that in a conventional war, there is no possibility of taking on India. And in fact, in that long oration that External Affairs Minister has given, he has essentially encapsulated India's foreign policy independence and in that backdrop explained the recent changes that have been made. Essentially what he was suggesting was that when the world has changed, our foreign policy should reflect rather than following certain dogmas, following certain age-old principles just out of sentimentality. So, in a way, he was giving an outline of India's foreign policy, and in that context, he explained why Pakistan adopted terrorism as its state policy, and that the muscular response that India has been giving of late contrasted with, for example, how we really did not respond in any manner after 26/11, clearly shows that the present establishment is able to evolve and adapt to the changed global scenario. And of course, his speech was not just about Pakistan, it was about overall global scenario where, for example, China and America are, so far as India's foreign policy is concerned, perhaps more relevant than any other geography of the world. And yet we have to engage, for example, with a reviving Europe. We have to continue to remain friends with Russia and still engage with, say, in Africa or South America.
Yes, Abhishek, requesting you to stay with us. Let's once again go back to that statement by India's foreign minister, also in fact stating that the narrative for India was to mainly focus on dialogue and also to stop Pakistan-sponsored terror.
There was also little awareness in the 1950s that we were dealing with a battle-hardened neighbor to the north, or indeed of the strategic significance of Pakistan-occupied Kashmir. This approach to the world affairs continued even thereafter. Thus, in 1972 at Shimla, India chose to bet on an optimistic outlook on Pakistan. At the end of the day, it resulted in both a revanchist Pakistan and a continuing problem in Jammu and Kashmir. That it has taken us so long to link talks with Pakistan to cessation of terrorism speaks for itself.